There is a type of resilience that grows not from external victories, but from the internal battles that a person fights alone. Often with no witness, no applause, and no reassurance that the struggle will one day make sense. This resilience forms in silence in those long nights where the mind trembles with fear, yet refuses to surrender. In those mornings when the body is exhausted but still rises because something inside whispers that giving up would be a deeper kind of death. Psychology describes resilience as the ability to adapt, but what most people fail to understand is that adaptation is not a passive process. It is an intense restructuring of the self. It is the moment when you look at your pain and decide that, despite everything you have lost, something within you is still worth saving. These internal revolutions reshape identity. They mold your endurance, sharpen your awareness, and fortify your emotional muscles. In these hidden battles, you stop asking, "Why me?" and begin asking, "What can I build from this?" That shift, though invisible, marks the awakening of true inner strength. Most people assume resilience is synonymous with confidence, but in truth, resilience begins in the shadows of self-doubt. The human mind is wired to protect itself by avoiding what feels uncertain or threatening. Yet growth demands stepping into exactly those spaces. Psychology reveals that when a person consciously confronts fear, whether fear of failing, fear of rejection, or fear of disappointing others, the brain begins to rewire itself. Neural pathways strengthen around courage rather than avoidance. This is not a quick transformation. It happens little by little through countless moments where you choose discomfort over stagnation. Each time you face a fear instead of running from it, you signal to your mind that you are capable of more than your instincts suggest. Slowly, fear stops being a tyrant and becomes a teacher. Your perception changes. What once overwhelmed you now challenges you, and what once silenced you now motivates you. In this process, resilience becomes not merely a reaction, but a deliberate identity and mindset built through repeated acts of psychological bravery. Yet, the development of true psychological strength requires something many people avoid: radical honesty with oneself. Humans are naturally skilled at self-deception. The brain creates comforting illusions, excuses, rationalizations, and delayed promises to shield us from the discomfort of change. But psychological transformation demands breaking these illusions one by one. It requires admitting the habits that sabotage your progress, recognizing the patterns that keep you stuck, and acknowledging the truths you've been too afraid to face. This confrontation is painful. It feels like tearing away a skin you've worn for years. But this pain is not destructive, it is cleansing. Because behind every lie you've told yourself is a part of you that has been waiting to grow. The moment you stop protecting your ego and begin confronting your shadows, you reclaim control over your life. You stop living reactively and start moving with intention. And from that honesty, resilience gains roots that no external circumstance can easily uproot. One of the most misunderstood aspects of resilience is the necessity of adversity. The mind does not strengthen in predictable or comfortable environments. It hardens in chaos, uncertainty, and pressure. When life becomes difficult, the brain activates survival mechanisms that push you beyond your perceived limits. Emotional tolerance expands. Psychological flexibility increases. You learn to endure not because you are unbreakable, but because you discover which parts of you can bend without collapsing. Every time you navigate hardship, your subconscious absorbs the lesson that you can endure more than your fears suggest. This is why some of the strongest individuals appear calm. They have endured inner storms that refine them. They no longer panic at discomfort because discomfort has been their teacher. They no longer fear darkness because they have walked through nights that taught them how to generate their own light. Adversity doesn't weaken resilience. It is the very fire that forges it into existence. Resilience also emerges from discipline, a psychological force often mistaken for rigidity or perfectionism. Discipline is not about controlling every detail. It is about staying committed to the future you want, even when the present feels heavy. It grows through small, repeated choices. Waking up when you'd rather sleep, showing up when you feel unmotivated, practicing skills even when progress seems invisible. These choices build neural structures that associate effort with meaning and future reward. Over time, discipline becomes internalized. It stops being something you force and becomes something you are. This internal shift is profound because it allows you to continue moving forward even when motivation disappears. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is structural. And when discipline merges with resilience, a person becomes nearly unstoppable. They develop the inner stability to pursue their goals regardless of external conditions, criticism, or temporary setbacks. Another essential psychological element of resilience is emotional detachment, not from life itself, but from external validation and societal pressure. Many people crumble under the weight of others' expectations, shaping their choices around what will be accepted or admired. But true inner strength begins the moment you stop performing for the world and start living according to your internal compass. Emotional detachment gives you the ability to observe criticism without absorbing it, to hear opinions without being controlled by them, and to stand firm in your values even when they're misunderstood. This form of detachment is not coldness, it is self-preservation. It frees you to make decisions that align with your deeper identity instead of your temporary fears. And once validation loses its power over you, resilience becomes effortless. You no longer bend to every wind, you become rooted. Identity plays a pivotal role in building resilience. Every action you take is influenced by who you believe yourself to be. If you see yourself as someone weak, every challenge reinforces that belief. If you see yourself as someone capable, every challenge becomes a test you expect to pass. The most powerful psychological transformation occurs when you consciously rewrite your internal identity. Instead of saying, "I am someone who struggles," you begin to say, "I am someone who overcomes." This shift changes behavior, habits, and emotional patterns. Identity is not fixed. It is shaped through repeated choices, behaviors, and thoughts. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, courage over fear, honesty over denial, you reinforce a new identity. Over months and years, that identity becomes your default state, enabling you to face adversity not with panic, but with grounded confidence. Loneliness, often feared, is one of the greatest forges of resilience. Isolation gives you no choice but to meet yourself. It removes distractions, silences external voices, and forces you to confront the thoughts you've been avoiding. It is in solitude that people discover the underlying reasons for their pain, the hidden roots of their fears, and the true shape of their desires. Many resist solitude because it strips away illusions and exposes raw emotions that are easier to ignore. But those who embrace solitude gain clarity. They learn to differentiate between what they want and what they've been conditioned to want. They learn to regulate emotions instead of numbing them. And most importantly, they learn to rely on their inner voice more than the noise of the external world. Solitude does not weaken resilience, it strengthens it by teaching you to stand even when no one is supporting you. Eventually, all these psychological forces, discipline, detachment, adversity, honesty, identity, and solitude merge into a form of resilience that is quiet yet unshakable. You no longer need to prove yourself. You no longer crumble under pressure. You no longer fear failure because you understand that every fall has strengthened you. Resilient people don't appear powerful because they shout. They appear powerful because their silence holds experience, endurance, and internal equilibrium. Their strength is not loud, but it is unmistakable. They'll walk differently, speak differently, choose differently. Their presence itself becomes a statement. I have survived myself. And once a person reaches this level of inner stability, life's chaos loses its ability to destabilize them. In the end, the psychology of resilience reveals a truth both simple and profound. Strength is not something you are born with. It is something you build layer by layer through moments that tested you, broke you, reshaped you, and ultimately awakened you. Resilience is the quiet conviction that no matter what happens, you will not abandon yourself. It is the understanding that life will not always get easier, but you will always get stronger. It is the realization that pain can refine you, humility can guide you, and discipline can elevate you. And when you finally recognize this strength within yourself, you stop living reactively and begin living intentionally. You stop waiting for external rescue and begin relying on internal power. And that ultimately is what makes you unbreakable.